Hey, Big A, I think I found a way for free money, but it might just be fraud. Could I get some advice? Yes, of course. Tell me. Have you discovered a way to make free money, or is it just fraud? So from my understanding on Robinhood, if you take out money on margin, but close by the end of the day, they don't charge any interest as it doesn't elapse a day. Okay, so you're borrowing money from Robinhood, and if you do it within the day, you don't get interest. I can get a large amount of money through them on margin because they approve crazy amounts. They do have a higher risk tolerance than other banks, and they do approve large margin loans. My plan is to take the loan when the market opens, buy all SGov ETFs, and then sell by the end of the day to pay back the loan. The ETF goes up 1 to 2 cents a day, but on a couple $1 million, it seems like free money. Is this fraud? Okay, it's not. From everything you described to me, that is not fraud. Now, that being said, I'm looking at the ETF. Now, it's maybe because of rebalancing. I'm not sure. But I don't think that every single day it guarantees goes up. I don't think it goes up guaranteed every single day. And so therefore, if one of these days it doesn't go up, you suddenly cannot pay back your large margin loan. By the way, if you're not putting in a lot of money, they will not give you millions of dollars. They'll give you thousands. My assumption here is that there's a flaw in your plan. And the flaw is that the line doesn't always go up. Yeah, okay, so this ETF tracks the investment results of short-term treasury bonds, and it goes up about 1 cent a day. That being said, price of bonds drops as the yield rises. So theoretically, interest rates could shock to the upside, and then the price of your bonds would go down, and then you'd lose quite a bit. Again, I don't know all the 100% of the facts here, but my assumption is this is a classic example of what they might call in finance, picking up pennies in front of a steamroller. There are many, many things that you can bet on in the world of Wall Street that have like 99% chance of making you money, but very, very small amounts. And then if one bad event happens, you lose a lot of money. So what you're doing is getting very small gains, but with a big risk. That's called being a doubter. Yeah, no, you guys already know about it. It is literally called being a doubter when I play video games. It's free money most of the time. But you only get little payments. So you do it again and again and again. And then that one time goes wrong and you get wiped out. That's what you've described to me. And I want to tell you that I don't think you should do it, but you've already talked about it so much that you probably are. So good luck. Godspeed. That happened recently. A guy bet on a sports game with like 97% chance to win 1.5 mil to make 10K, and then they lost. Yeah, I think we talked about it on stream. It was like wasn't it a soccer game? And he put 1.5 million in, and then they lost. Yeah, it's just, that's the thing. Most of the time you make the safe bet. You always bet the fucking favorite. You'll make a little bit of money and feel like you were smart, but then the second it turns against you, you lose a lot. You got to spend money to make money though. I can think of a better way to spend $1.5 million if your only goal is to make 10K. Bro, you can make 10K fairly easily if you have $1.5 million. We go to Vegas sometimes, the boys, and my dream is, especially if I'm up, is to take all of the money that I would have spent the whole weekend and put it all on one singular bet and don't gamble again. Everything on one fucking roulette hand on red or black. Then if it doubles, you made a big chunk of money. You take it, you go. If it doubles, you go again. You're psychotic. Let's say you put $3,000, a big gambling weekend. You put $3,000 on red. It doubles to 6. I think less than 1% of you let it ride. I think you actually have to have a brain problem. You let it ride to go for 12? That's crazy. I think you're just saying that. I think you guys are just saying that. I actually don't believe you. I think you have to be really degen to double your 3K and be like, I deserve more. Wait, I tried this IRL on a cruise as a teenager and thought I discovered it. I did not beat the casino. What did you discover? You discovered like martingale betting? Okay, you just mean doubling. Martingale, if you guys don't know, is the idea that like if I bet $100 and I lose it, then I just bet $200 next time. And so I get my money back. So if you're betting on a 50-50 chance, like red or black, you just keep doubling. Eventually it's going to come up red and you're fine. You can't lose money. The only problem is, again, pennies in front of a steamroller. Sometimes it'll be 10 black in a row and you will get wiped out. It'll be like you need $10 trillion to cover. You know what I'm saying? Boy math, double down to recoup past losses. Another thing, this is maybe not boy math, but I see boys do it more often, is like if you ever buy a stock and it's down, many people have this aversion to ever selling it. They will literally hold it for 100 years until it's back to even, then they will sell it. I mean, they will just never, ever sell at a loss and just take what's remaining. Even though companies can do, and have go bankrupt. Even though sometimes they go down and they don't come back. You know, that happens. In fact, bankruptcies are at like multi-decade highs right now, I think. Maybe since 2008. I think we're at the highest bankruptcies right now since 2008. Big A, I work for the government in dealing with bankruptcies. And shit, I can tell you it's the worst period they have seen in a long time. Yeah, I wasn't kidding. I'm with you. Yeah, it's fucking crazy right now. It's like relatively silent or hidden. People aren't talking about it enough, but like bankruptcies have spiked this year. Tons of places cannot keep up with their debt payments because of the increase in the cost of capital, just rising interest rates. That means that servicing on debt is way higher. Everyone's saying it like it's a terrible thing. It is obscenely bad in the short term, especially as it gets worse, because it means layoffs. At the end of the day, the reverse is also a problem, where we had too few bankruptcies for a very long time, which basically means that bad zombie companies couldn't fail. Like companies that did nothing, that didn't make any money, that shouldn't exist, could keep going for years because they could just keep borrowing money, which creates a bigger and bigger bubble and problem. Ideally, that never happens to begin with, but once it happens, you have to have bankruptcies, otherwise you're fucked. I mean, it has to happen ideally sooner rather than later, and it's been fucking 15 years, so it's gonna be a problem. A client asked me today if I could help them get an ERC loan, which has nothing to do with my job, and ERC loans are not being given. That's interesting that they're still trying. That's not a sign of desperation. Schmidrick Lamar works in real estate, I believe, so yeah, they're just trying to get fraud money. Hey, Big A, I just started a job selling life insurance. Any good tips to get that sweet commission check? I need money because living hurts. First of all, I'm sorry about your situation. I don't know any good tips to get that sweet commission check other than selling life insurance. That seems like what your job is. The general plan of most insurance salesmen is to target the fiscally irresponsible and the old. So I guess you could do that. Yeah, vulnerable people. Generally, you could find old people and then tell them, oh, you're not living enough for your kids, and then give them a life insurance policy that's not appropriate. But if you have any ounce of morals, then I don't really have a good plan for you, because it's not a great business. I mean, I'm sure there's an ethical version of life insurance. It's fine. I mean, if people need it, if they are at risk or they're going to die and they want to have their family protected. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Honestly, it's fine. I'm sure you could do it. But the problem is if you're not like within like a big reputable organization, I feel like it's going to be hard to do a sales-based commission thing. Young families need to hedge for their children in case of an event. Yeah, but they're the least likely to spend. You know what I'm saying? If you're a young family, especially nowadays, 2023, your only goal is to like scrape together enough money for a down payment and maybe finally get a house. Again, half or more of people, like I think it's over 50% now of people 18, 24, maybe 26 range are living with their parents now, because you just have to, because housing has gotten so expensive. Rent's way up and housing's way up. Everything is all revolving around housing. Everyone is trying to get enough money to eventually have a house or some kind of place to live in. It's like, it's ever more out of reach. To ask them to be like, hey, do you want to spend money on life insurance? It's like, fuck no. People don't want to do that. I talk to hundreds of real estate agents a week. Shit's getting real out there. Yeah. 100%. And I think even in the past week or two, it's starting to crystallize more. People are waking up to the fact that we got a real problem. The fucking bubbly effervescence of the stock market and the like analysts and everything. It's just like, it's all sort of fading. The smiles are fading. H-Rock, what degree should I get if I want to get a nice white collar job where I can coast until I die?